Let's have a conversation, have a quick little chat right now about all the breaking news topics while you guys are voting on our hot takes. So, guys, let's go to the panel right now. Let's have a chat. Let's have a little chat, everybody. So, a lot going on. Of course, we're only talking about that Andor trailer, the music, the themes, a lot of money. But I think the biggest thing is, I can go to Laura about this too, is like the work in LA. Harry Potter's going there. Avengers is going to the UK. I mean, there's all these projects going to the UK and not being here. Now, they had this tax them that's supposed to be passed, and they say, we'll bring more work. But do you think that more productions like this, Laura, will just keep going to the UK and not stick here? Or do you think LA can come back?
I mean, I think LA can come back. Part of the problem is we keep casting people from the UK for everything. There's so many UK actors that are doing American accents, like cast in America. We have plenty of good actors here. They're not short on talent. And yeah, I think maybe the taxes need to be improved even a little bit more. You know, I think we gave an extra $100,000 in tax breaks this past year, but I don't know. I mean, bring back work to LA, whatever it takes. I wish the city would do more to do that. Like, come on, guys. Don't charge out the butt for your house. Like, let us use your house and not pay a ridiculous, absorbent amount of money.
So much money. Much money. Did you? I love the casting of John Lithgow, though. I know people are going to say about the whole, like, he's not British. We're just having that conversation. But I think, like, where he's at in his career, like, the kind of characters he's played, do you think that he's going to fit this mold well and, like, smash all those criticism away?
Hell yes. John Lithgow's such a talent. I mean, you know that we were both fans of him in his season of Dexter. Then if you saw him, he just did, was it Conclave? He was fantastic in Conclave. He's just, I feel like he's an undeniable talent, and he's so good at playing either bad guys that you're not supposed to love that you end up loving because John Lithgow's playing them, or like good guys that, like, you know, he's just good at, like, layered performance. You know, he can take a good guy and make him bad. Like, he's just so good at layering performance and technique, you know.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen Conclave, Laura, that movie's so good, right?
Oh, my God.
It's so fantastic.
Good. And there's such a talented cast. Like, Stanley Tucci is in it, and I don't know. Go see it now. I don't even want to say anything about it because it's just that good. And people have a problem with, like, the twist ending. Like, you guys, get with the times. It's 2025, I think. Yeah. I kind of thought that, like, I really thought Ralph Fiennes was going to become the Pope at the end. Like, he didn't want it, and it was interesting to have that twist too. I thought spoiler alert! You've been hanging out with your spoilers.
I have been. It's been out for a second, you know.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes is great though. He was fantastic. I mean, it's a great movie. There's a reason that it's.
You make a lousy Pope though.
Yeah. Well, GR, what do you think about it? Did you see Conclave, GR? Because everyone's been talking about it.
Yet. I'm going to go see it, but I haven't yet.
You should watch it. You know, it's funny. When I first watched it, though, I watched it and, like, I didn't have the subtitles on for some reason. I'm like, you know, sometimes you watch a movie and they'll have something like, this was like in Italian. And you're like, oh, they just have it for a moment. I'm like, there's a lot of Italian that I don't know what they're saying. And then I realized it was like half of the movie. I'm like, oh, the subtitles weren't actually on in the feed that I was watching. And so I'm like, oh, there's so much more story I was missing. But it's a great movie.
The SAG screener with me. It was great. Everyone was there. The director was there. Stanley Tucci was there. Ralph Fiennes was there. It was like the entire cast was there. It was fantastic. And they were so nice. They came out and, like, talked at the mixer, and that was a DGA screener, I think. Yeah,
I could see the Tooch being a great person. I could really see him just being like, you know,
everyone was so nice.
I loved his his like tour in Italy where he's like eating all the food and cooking and stuff. It was really fun. It's on Max, but I think it got canceled, or is it still going? I really enjoyed it.
Look into. We can talk about it next time I'm here.
I know. Yeah, we'll figure that out. GR, this the Lord of the Rings cartoon. Are you shocked it did that bad?
Not in the least. I mean, they take a great art writer's work, make something up, and try to pass it off as his work. I'm sorry. It's a piece of garbage.
You did say that before. Like, this is not even by Tolkien. This is totally unsanctioned. This is not going to do well. And it did make $15 million, which is not, I mean, it's not nothing. It's good, but it's not amazing.
Called, in the industry now, Brian, that's called chump change.
Yeah, well, especially after advertising and marketing, it's like you're not really like you think, oh, that's not that bad of a loss, but if they spend maybe 10 million on marketing, it just starts adding up more and more, and it's like that's a pretty big loss. It might find some traction on Max though. GR, do you think it could?
Good joke, Brian.
It sounds like it was somebody's pet project. Like they love it. It's like their baby, so it's still going. You know how that goes.
You know how what the Russians say about that?
What's that, GR?
Tuvshitsky.
I don't know. It could be something good. I mean, look, the animation style looked great at least. I gotta say though, I know Laura was saying about The Last of Us being a little worried, but the first season was so good, Laura. I really hope that they can still channel that, harness that, and bring in that energy again. And you got, again, a lot of new characters, a new story. It's gonna be changing. I never played the second game, but I hear like, the new characters really take the forefront, right? Is that true?
Yeah,
Is Joel's character as big?
You might want to like watch it on like, you can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch like a playthrough, and you might want to do that just to like get familiar with the story, because I don't know if you noticed, but like the first season, so as far as like people that I know people who are video game fans that were really split on this. Like it was like a 50-50, like I love it or I hate it. For me, I'm a huge Last of Us fan. I bought the game for my ex-husband and watched him play it through. We were married then.
Wow.
We don't just normally hang out and I watch it. But we were married then, and I watched him play through the whole game, and it was Game of the Year. But then when they turned it into a TV show, I think people thought they were going to be getting, first of all, a new storyline, which it's not. It follows the games. And second of all, like the biggest thing I feel like people get annoyed with, and it relates to like most zombie series, is that when people tell stories about zombies, you guys, when you're talking about zombies, yes, the games you're playing and you're going to see a ton of zombies, and like that's the point. But when you have like these post-apocalyptic creature worlds, including zombies or fungi or whatever, the point is to examine humanity. It is to look at how people act and how people betray or are loyal or the decisions they make. And I think a lot of people didn't like that this show was focused mostly on people and not fungi monsters.
Well, even the game though, don't they wear like gas masks a lot in the game too, because they don't be breathing in the spores in the air from the fungi, right?
Yeah, there's like certain areas where that happens in the game. They did explain on the show why they eliminated that, and it makes sense because like how are you can't talk with a gas mask. It just would be really hard to watch that. But like my favorite episode was that episode, I think it was like 6, when she was in the whole burning down of that restaurant. She gets kind of like kidnapped and she's in that restaurant with that guy, and like she's just at that moment where you see Ellie like grow up and become this like super empowered but also traumatized woman child. Like she's still a kid, and she's having to like axe someone to death.
Yeah, like just get in there and just like murder somebody out of nowhere, and like at that age and like being thrust into that world like that, I can't even imagine. But the intensity of her acting was fantastic for that too, Yeah,
the focus of that episode was essay, and like, I just remember watching the whole thing, and I sat there at the end and I was like, I like couldn't even catch my breath. Like I just sat there, and then I got so sad, and then I think I started crying or something, because it was so like that was a really moving, like touching episode, and it just was like that was like such a great build to that, and you just see Ellie become this like rage monster, sad girl. It was really good.
And I was going to say though before about the masks thing though, I think that comes down to Pedro Pascal's like, I'll do this, but I'm not going to wear a mask the whole time. I did that once for Mandalorian. I'm not doing that again. I'll do the show. And I just think that he was great in it. I think that she was great. I think the castings. I mean, we have also like the new season's got a lot of new casts come forward too.
They're in like a frontier town. They've made it to a town, whereas the first season is mostly just like a small group of people getting through post-apocalyptic worlds. We're going to get into like a town, which is what, kind of like Walking Dead goes through different communities. We're going to get into like a community. So, and it's his best friend that he's reconnecting with. And yeah, it should be really good. If you like people.
I really, Catherine O'Hara's in it too. And I really excited to see Catherine O'Hara in this as well. I'm like, I just love everything she does. I just hope it's good. GR, you're more excited about Legally Blonde prequel, aren't you, GR?
Oh yeah. I so loved the first two movies. That were, yeah.
You probably have never seen those at all, have you, GR? No.
Maybe 5 minutes of one of them.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, I have kids, Brian, and
That's true.
They had that crap on the TV.
That's a great casting, though. You look at her; she looks like Reese Witherspoon, doesn't she?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, she's got the blonde look down pat. She's a beautiful young woman. I mean,
and I love that she's only done like a few like smaller I think she was like an NCIS or something like that. Like she's like some small projects. Law and Order. That's what it was. I wish I had the dung dung. I wish I had that. I gotta put that in the show. I gotta put that in the show.
The bottom line is, Brian, you called it. This could be a breakout role for this young woman. I mean,
and it should be. I mean, it could be. I mean, the fact that Reese is producing this, behind it is telling that story. I'd imagine like they'll probably do more seasons, and then they might do some of that Dexter stuff where they flash back and forth, or maybe Reese does voiceover as well. That could be fun. They're doing that again. They're doing Dexter New Blood or Original Sin. They're also going to do it with the Trinity series for Dexter as well, with John Lithgow doing the voice of Trinity. That stuff's going to be big, and I think there's going to be more shows like building off that. I think it could be good. Laura, what do you think about a prequel to that, Legally Blonde?
I mean, I am a little torn on it because I really do trust Reese Witherspoon. She's very involved with all the projects she takes. She's usually I'm assuming she's producing this as well.
Yep, executive producing. She actually picked her too. She had to decide on the casting, everything. She's very involved.
At this point in her career, like I think it's like she's producing or she's not doing it, and I really admire that about her. And every set I've ever been on with her, she's like very outspoken. She has a loud voice and creative control, and she's a really good female artist. However, that being said, I'm not really sure what the storyline is going to be, because the whole point of Legally Blonde is like, her big scene where she's in the courtroom, and like that's like the whole center of the movie. So I don't know if this is just like her learning about lawyers and having admiration. I'm just interested.
We're going back to high school, Laura. Going back to high school. So it's her.
I know. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be rom-com. I'm wondering if they're going to do almost like a 90s style high school romance. But I just.
I'm gonna give that a womp womp. What's it lead to? Oh, this inspired me to become a lawyer later on. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I mean. It just doesn't seem like there's a ton of room to get me interested in. Like, what is it about the debate team?
Right.
The teacher that inspired her.
It could be. And Queen, yes, the zombies always take over the earth in these movies. Always happens. Of course they're going to. Unless you're when is it going to happen? Unless you're like Shaun the Dead. Shaun the Dead, they're just playing video games and drinking beer, drinking pints.
Yeah.
Okay, my kind of video, isn't it? Yeah.
That was a fun movie. If you guys ever seen Shaun the Dead, that was a fun movie. But
the reason the zombies take over the earth isn't because they're like really tough enemies. It's because the viruses are so contagious. The idea is, like, imagine if COVID was a zombie virus. There'd be a lot of zombies right now.
There'd be a lot of zombies. Yeah. That's
if COVID was real, it would be a problem.
Oh, GR.
Here we go. Now we're really.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying COVID didn't exist. I'm not saying that at all.
I was saying it's definitely real.
I'm just saying, on a contagion level, that's usually the issue.
Well, that's what the Chinese were trying for, but it didn't work.
Oh, that's a whole rabbit hole right there, GR. That's a rabbit hole. That sounds like why Foundation happened, because Foundation was about going against the Empire and finding a way to actually like rise up before humanity's gone. If you guys haven't watched Foundation over on Apple TV Plus, I love this movie or this show. You guys should check it out. It's done great. I always think like what they've done with it, like having like 3 different emperors, like Day, Dawn, and Dusk, is a fantastic idea of a clone. 3 different, it's the same person, but a young, middle, and an older version. I think they did a great job with that. And I think what they're doing moving forward is great. But getting rid of the showrunner is never a good sign to me. And I think getting rid of Goyer is a problem. I love Goyer. I think he's done great projects. I mean, he has had some hits and some misses, of course, too. But I think Foundation was a hit. And it makes me worry about where it goes. Makes me where it goes, GR. Getting rid of a showrunner that late in the game is kind of weird, Like first season,
like I said in the hot takes, I pray that the guy can keep up the quality. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the key, And
it's the guy, Ian, who's coming in. He was the showrunner for Fear the Walking Dead, which is, it was a big spinoff of Walking Dead. It's done great. So you would hope that he has an idea how to take something like this to the next level.
I'm knocking on some wood here, Brian.
Yeah, I hope so too. Before we move on, we have a winner of hot takes. Before we move on, the booster gold thing I saw.
What? Guys, I thought the bag that had my power cord for my laptop, it did not have it. So I had to emergency run out, and now I'm here again.
Oh, you're good. You're good. They didn't even know, Laura. Nobody knew until you just said it. I was covering for you. I was covering for you.
You know me, Brian. I'm a truth teller.
It's true. I'm just like doing my little.
That can get you in trouble in this town.
Shimmy shoe. It can. But I was gonna say the booster gold thing. I saw some questions about booster gold. This is again. I saw Queen say he's kind of a good king. He's a character that is like a celebrity. He's got technologies from the future technologies, getting back in time, and because of that, people are like think that he's like the most amazing person in the world, but it all comes down to future technology, why he is so advanced. And he's like cocky and he's cracking jokes. I just think if Ryan Reynolds wasn't already Deadpool, he would probably be a great version of this character. Also, Brian Kruse could do it. I'm just saying. But I'm saying there's a lot of people that could probably do.
I would cast you, Brian. I would cast you.
I would love to be Booster Gold. I think it'd be fun. I don't know. It could boost someone's career to gold standard, GR.
Oh my! You went for it.
I don't know. I'm in right there. Great quick takes, everybody.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.